Co-owner of Microknowledge Inc. technology training firm. Microknowledge provides clients with business technology training in programs such as, but not limited to, Microsoft Office, Adobe, SharePoint, SQL, Crystal Reports, and other popular software. My project today is titled Using Pivot Tables in Excel 2016. This is an e-learning module giving a high-level overview of how to create a pivot table. The intent was to use this as a value add for my clients. The e-learning module goes over single dimension pivot tables and multiple dimension pivot tables. The clients who would be using this e-learning module are clients who either have already been exposed to pivot tables and want to review, or clients who hadn't been exposed at all but certainly do know how to use Excel. The video will highlight some key components of the module. The introduction for the e-learning module is where the learners are first introduced to the avatar Lisa. In essence, she's an avatar of me. Let's have a listen. Someone who tends to be a little more comfortable. So my intention of using Lisa as an avatar with coffee and standing and smiling and changing expressions was to create kind of that hominess, that feeling of going from an instructor-led training to digital. In the module, the learners actually answer a few questions. This was a question just after they had learned how to set up a list. So in this particular case, the learners get the opportunity to look at each question and then decide which one, in this case, which graphic represents a proper list. This is one where the learners get the opportunity to pick a proper list format. So depending on what they pick, there's some feedback. For example, if I pick, let's say, letter D, unfortunately, even though the first row contains columns, and in this case, an entire column is blank. Although technically, you can highlight this list. It's not the best example of list. So the opportunity is for them to try again and then have the opportunity to pick something else. So as they pick their list, B or C would have been the correct answer here. Now we're talking. This is perfect. The first row contains columns. The rest of the rows contain data. So the intent is to give the positive feedback as they choose different options, whether they choose the right one or not. Choose insert, pivot table. Select the field you want as a group. We chose supplier country. Then pick a value field. We chose order amount. 4 quick steps. Select list, insert pivot table, select grouping fields, select your value field. Voila, pivot table. What do you say? Ready to try it? Click continue to try to create a pivot table. If you would like to review, click the review button. So Lisa the avatar actually does help as folks go through various steps, reminding them what the steps are so they'll get accustomed to them. So had we clicked on review pivot tables, we would go back to some initial screens that help them understand what steps they need to pick for the pivot table. If we were to click continue, we go through another example. Click on various menus. So as I click on them, you click the first menu option. What's the second? I get the opportunity to click through the options. If I want to display product class sales, which 2 fields do I check? Field list. Through steps for creating pivot tables, eventually they get toward the end. At the end of the pivot table option, they get to review the previous example or continue to a quiz. For the quiz, please answer the question on this slide. So all of these quiz options, and I'm going to answer them all right, are actually graded. And then we have to put them in the right order. Get some hotspot options. So we have a variety of different options when it comes to the quiz. Their score, and then they have the opportunity to review the quiz, which would bring them back to the first quiz question and then walk them through the steps, or continue on to the next slide. As I continue on to the next slide, and then we have the final slide of the e-learning module. If they choose single dimension pivot tables, they go to the first example where they get to walk through the steps again. If they go through multi-dimension pivot tables, they go to the first multi-dimension pivot tables example. And if they choose goodbye, they exit out of the module. Thanks for taking the time to watch the module tonight. I hope you get the opportunity to enjoy the full product link that's available on my website, and I've included it in the course. It's been a pleasure, and good night to all of you.